What is up, YouTube? So we've been doing these top 5 videos, and we're going to jump right into another one. It's going to be top 5 supports slash guardians, plus maybe a warrior in there. We're going to basically do a normal shit, count down from 5 all the way to 1, talk about why they're good, why they're maybe have faults, and why you should be playing them, and what you should be looking to play. Really straightforward. So we're going to jump in at number 5. I will have honorable mentions, like a 6, 7, close 5 spot at the end. So obviously you'll want to listen for that if you just want to see something outside of these top 5. Anyway, for number 5, we're coming in with a Geb. So Geb has always been in and out of the meta or floating right on that line, always. When clear was really important, he kind of fell off. And while clear is something that is important, especially in your ranked and your casual games, it does not determine the game right now. Snowball is there, obviously. Snowball's in Smite. But right now, the team fights happen so early that the snowball can be countered very easily with a level 5, 6, 7 team fight. And Geb has an amazing team fight. His ultimate is insane. His shield is crazy. Fucking ridiculous. The amount of health on it, especially low level, is ridiculous. Like, you can just live through so much with the shield. You can easily control a team fight with your knockup. It's very underrated. And then you've got your rollout, so you can move around the map. You can escape. You can get into team fights. You can do that a little bit of extra damage. So with the kit, it makes perfect sense for it to be a successful support god. It has control. It has AoE control. It has cone AoE control out of the 2. It has a shield which can save anybody, including himself. And then he has mobility. It's different kind of mobility, but it is a type of mobility, and it is very useful when used properly. Now, his downside is going to be his laning phase. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. He doesn't have any kind of crazy clear. He does have a very good 3v3 fight because you can poke with your mid, and your jungler, and kind of not take any poke in return because you have so much control and the shield to rely off of, really. I would say this god, the later into the game, the better it gets. He can be caught out very easily, so in matchups against like Nemesis jungle or just heavy CC comps, you need to be careful. You can get caught out if your 1 is down, or if your actives are down, whichever actives you go. I do actually recommend getting a blink and just playing aggressive, because I said how the team fights early are the reason Geb actually works. He's not going to have the best laning phase. He's going to have that great team fight. So the quicker, faster, easier you can get into those team fights, the better it is for you. It's that simple. Geb is really that easy to just look at, understand in that way, and play him based off that. Obviously, supports rotations are very, very important, and that's going to come down to you have a little bit of mobility, but if you get caught out, you're going to die, so you have to rotate safely, properly, and with your team. That is something you're going to be wanting to do most of the time. Now, number 4 is Ganesh. Ganesh came into the meta, and everyone was like, he's fucking broken. He's going to be top support. Even I thought he'd be top support. Then as he got played, you could kind of see his fault. You could see where he slacked off, and then with the nerf to his ult to make him less of an objective-based god, you saw him fall off a little bit more. He is still very good. He does still get played a lot competitively, and it is still a god you want in your god pool for the support role. Now, god has really good clear, period. The fact that he can't take kills, he's really good at helping your team farm. He has a very, very good presence in that 3v3 team fight and in regular team fights. His ultimate can be annoying. It's not going to be game-breaking. It can be very annoying. His silence is what is team fight winning. If you silence the right person at the right time, you'll completely control the team fight for those few seconds, which can turn a team fight or just completely dominate that team fight for your team. He also has the knockup control, which is actually a lot of CC. It's very underrated. And the fact that he can go through walls is pretty sick with his dash. So, you know his kit. You know he's good in lane. He can clear. You know his rotations are good. And you know his 3v3 fight is good. His team fight is where he slacks the most, because his 2 is his key team fight ability. I mean, his ultimate is obviously a team fight ability, but it doesn't do that much. If you place it anywhere other than perfectly, someone can just stand in it, or it's just going to slow and do a little bit of damage at most. So with this god, you're looking to get in those 3v3 team fights early. You're looking to pressure in the lane and play off of that. You can fight in the lane, pressure in the lane, and move on. Go into those 3v3 fights early, level 4, 5, 6. Look for invades. Be the aggressor on Ganesh, and you will see a lot of success with this god. Easy peasy, right? Number 3, Khepri. Khepri's amazing. Clear is great. The fact that he can save a lot of these diving gods that get played a lot. You're seeing Nija picked up a lot. You're seeing Robin picked up a lot. You're seeing mages that are frontline niece like Morgan, things that can be called out. Khepri can save all those people. Just a very strong god. Want to be aggressive early. You want to play corners. You want to play corners. So instead of doing a Gold Fury, maybe bait it and play the corner if you have vision. Play the corners at mid harpies. Play the corners at buffs when you know the other team is going to come try to steal their speed or get their red buff or whatever. Like if they see you invade, play the corners. Look for the quick kills. With the pull on Khepri, you can blow somebody up. You can do a lot. Can burn a lot of actives very easily without taking any damage. Plus, Khepri's shield passive is insane. Very underrated. Now, number 2, Tera. Really shouldn't be a surprise. Global ult makes you faster, gives you CDR, and makes your abilities not cost mana. Broken. Has a root with mobility. Broken. Has a stun. Broken. The god is a very, very, very strong. I'd say probably the weakest part would be laning phase. Won't have crazy lane clear, but it's not bad at all. Level 1, it's not the worst. It could be worse. Trust me, it could be. So basically, you're going to play off of your 5v5 team fight with this god. You're going to play off of that global ult, and you're going to play off of your mobility and your control before a team fight starts. If you're initiating on Tera, if you get into a position where you're starting the fights on Tera, your team's going to win the game. It's very, very hard to play into a Tera that is being aggressive with her team behind her. It's not fun. It's not easy, and that is the playstyle you want to go for when playing Tera. So get into those team fights. Use that global ult properly. If you know your team's fighting, ultimate. The worst that happens is they don't quite catch them or they don't finish somebody off. At least having that ultimate will make sure their ultimates are back up faster. So that's better for you and your team. Now the top god, Fafnir, simple, easy. Ultimate is amazing for team fights. His lane clear is not bad at all. He has a lot of pressure with his stun. He has the ability to poke. He has the ability to make his team do more damage. And he has high mobility. Very, very safe guardian. Perfect in this meta. Even more perfect for ranked and casuals because you can actually carry. You know how there's very few supports that really carry Smite ever. Ares was one of the few that very good players would carry with Ares. Fafnir, you can carry up. You can control a game with Fafnir. You actually do a shit ton of damage. I don't recommend this in real try-hard games, but in your lower end games, you can build a little bit of damage late game. Like a 5th item could be like a damage item, and that shit adds up. He does a lot of damage. It's super underrated. Once he ults, he does a lot of damage. So play around grouping up, play around your damage bonuses, play around your poke. Your 3v3 fight is really good when you are the one looking to poke. So throw your hammer, get your team to poke, reset, and then go back in. Once your hammer's back up, that's when you'll be looking to fight. Play corners similar to Khepri, but just look for those team fight ultimates. Your ultimate's going to be used to separate a team fight. You will ult in the middle, the other team will back up, or half their team will be split, and then your team will win the fight because they can run through you and they can do damage, they can do whatever. The other team doesn't want to take that extra Fafnir damage for no reason, so everyone always disperses around that. And then you also have the double stun combo when you're in your ultimate form, which is broken. So with that being said, you know the top 5 Guardians, these 5 are what you want to play. You don't have to play them in any order. You don't have to only play Fafnir. You can play whichever ones you feel are more fun or fit your play style. But these are going to be the safest, easiest to play 5, and what I explained are the things they're going to do well at. So those are the things you want to look to do in your Conquest games. You aren't going to want to look to play Geb as a level 1 fighting god, unless the other lane is just ass. So also kind of pay attention to your matchup, your 2v2 matchup in dual lane, and also your 3v3 combo in the mid jungle support, mid lane shit that ends up happening every game. Now, you know the top 5. We'll talk about some that I really think are strong. They just aren't consistent gods that are played a lot, but it's something you might want to have in your god pool. Amma is the only warrior I recommend playing in the support role. And it's mainly because Amma is amazing at diving. Amma is going to slack on peel, but be a great god for running in, poking, and getting fights started, and diving the other team's backline. The ultimate you literally cannot stop at all. You've got the mobility for your team to chase in, which is amazing for diving or even running away, but usually for diving. Plus you have the damage bonus for objectives. So with an Amma, get the passive up, plus the damage bonus from the passive, you will destroy Gold Furies, Portal Demons, Fire Giants. Stuff will die very quick, which is what is very underrated. But you have to remember, if you say, let's do gold, someone just back, as long as your Amma and your Hunter are there, the second your mage gets there, that shit's gone. That objective is gone. That's a 5, 6, 7 objective with an Amma on there and your team ready to go. And that is something you play around when you pick Amma. Amma will be more towards your playstyle. A lot of people can't play this in the support role very well, so try it, see how you feel. I don't put it in the top 5 simply because I think it has some worse matchups, and I think it's a harder playstyle to pick up, and not everyone can do it. Just being completely straightforward. Now, your other Guardians you can look at are going to be your high clear, but more prone to death type gods, like your Sylvanas. Amazing clear. Sustain is amazing, but in a ranked game, competitive or a ranked or casual game, it's going to be very hard to get your team to group up and play the team fight the way it needs to be. Because it needs to be initiate, do some damage. If you don't kill somebody, you reset for a second, you heal, and then you go back in. That doesn't happen too much in competitive. And then next on the list will be Ares, just because I think Ares can control a ranked game very easily. I think you can carry from the support role on an Ares when you're doing what you need to do, just because he does so much fucking damage. And when the other team isn't coordinated enough to collapse on an Ares, you're just able to get that damage off and chase people down. And all they do is turn and run away. And that's something you can play around. Hopefully, these top 5 videos are helping you guys a little bit. I have these questions all the time in stream. What do I play? What's the best? Blah, 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 blah. And these are my thoughts. These are what I see from playing the game. I've played this game for 5 years. I played competitively for like 4 or something now. I've seen a lot. I've seen gods come and go. They come into meta. A month later, they're gone. You have to remember this is always changing. Do your best with the information that you can pull from these videos. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please hit the subscribe button. We want 100K. Weak Nation is big as fuck. Bigger than I ever thought it would be. 100K is the dream on YouTube. Have a good day, guys. See you guys in the video later today.